I am a self-proclaimed cute-to-horror hater, but both of these series have me by the throat and I love them. Why?
Why?
Well, the cute-to-horror I hate is when it's purely for shock value. Like, think of how many cute tiny things are eaten and crushed in Jimmy Neutron and the Ant Bully.
Flashback.
King Goobot ate this cute creature, and I understand they did that just to establish, like, ooh hoo hoo, he's evil. But have you considered that it makes me sad? Have you considered that I don't like it and I'm crying? Why am I crying? They're not real! Especially in middle school, I hated just anything creepy. But like I said, Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared immediately hooked me. It's the thrill of trying to figure out what you just watched. It's the kind of thing that sticks with you, not because you're sad, but because you're intrigued. While Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared definitely leans more into gore, and while The Amazing Digital Circus is purely psychological and emotional, these series have way more in common than I thought. Butt lovers, welcome to the internet where the fun never stops. Hey, look at this cool new app. This video is brought to you by this button. Every time you press it, words of affirmation come from a fatherly voice.
You're doing a good job. I'm so proud of you.
What's your favorite idea?
Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared has two storylines. It started with their original web series, and they also got a TV show, which, fun fact, is my all-time favorite TV show. But let's start with the first 3 minutes and 24 seconds we ever see from these characters, posted all the way back in 2011. If any of you out there comment, that was before I was born, I'm deleting my YouTube channel. We have Red Guy, who is my favorite character. I dressed up as him one Halloween. I just love a deadpan guy who can also freak the fuck out.
I can't help you. I don't work here. Okay, fine.
We have Yellow Guy, who always embodied a sense of childlike innocence. And we have Duck, who I never realized is established as a conservative this early on. In his first appearance, we see him reading The Right Wing. We even see Currency with his face on it, showing where his priorities truly are. The three are sitting at the table, seemingly bored, waiting for something to happen. A notepad abruptly breaks the silence with a song. She flips open, asking them what their favorite idea is. What's your favorite idea? We see Yellow Guy's jaw drop. And I don't blame him, because what a way to start a conversation. Yellow Guy doesn't even know how to get an idea.
Bruh, how do you get the idea?
Which makes you wonder if these three even talked before this instance. This notepad is very insistent and she doesn't take no for an answer. It's either her way or it's garbage. She trashes Yellow Guy's painting with black goo. She tells him green is not a creative color. And then after her lecture, it turns into a commanding chant. Come on guys, let's get creative! Get creative! Their perspective changes to see each of the characters' live-action hands. They're getting crafty, and I swear the first time I saw Duck placing down this D, the letter D that is, I knew it was going to shit. It is not D for Duck, it's D for Death. Oh my god. They turn into digital versions of themselves, and the camera spins around. We see a camera, director's chair, a bunch of eyeballs, and a clapboard that says, "Don't hug me, I'm scared, take one." So this is a show to them as well. Or maybe they're not taking a look behind the curtain like we are. Anyway, there's a huge visual difference in Yellow Guy and Duck after this transition. They are no longer small puppets, but instead giant full-body mascot creatures like Red Guy is. They have a joint manic experience, dancing and cheering for death. They play around with the real human heart and other organs, escalating to a full-blown meat cake. Save me a slice.
Never be creative again.
To me, this symbolizes the danger of a hive mind. We think the worst that can happen when art is made from just one perspective is that it gets boring. But the worst that can happen is that it gets dangerous. We keep cutting back to normal puppet Yellow Guy, screaming in pain. He doesn't like this, but his true creative voice was stifled, leading to a complete loss of self and madness. Kind of sounds like abstraction from The Amazing Digital Circus. Unlike Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared, we are immediately told how these characters got trapped. They put on a headset and are stuck as these colorful characters with no knowledge of their names.
What's his name? What's his name? I got nothing on a name. Come on, baby, what's the name?
Now, who's to say Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared's characters are actually named Red Guy, Yellow Guy, and Duck? Those names are super suspicious. It makes Pomni sound normal. The first randomly generated name of XDKK still would have been rough. Sounds like one of those CAPTCHAs, in all honesty. Instead of this group being introduced to different teachers, they are introduced to different adventures in different places. Kane, the computer overlord ringleader, who is made up of a sparkling smile and heterochromia, calls this an in-house adventure. You see, Pomni is new to the group, and she's spiraling, so today's game will take place in their home, Pomni's new home, the titular setting of the digital circus. Instead of their usual shenanigans, where they can go to places like, I don't know, off the top of my head here, a haunted house, or something like that. The entire time, Pomni, the jester, the newest to the group, keeps seeing this exit door, and she wants to go through, but it keeps disappearing. Everyone is denying it, and she is also briefly sidetracked by Jax the asshole rabbit and Ragatha the ragdoll. They both unknowingly lead Pomni to their recently deceased friend.
What?
Huh? What are you talking about, you clown? I'm talking about the clown! His name is Kaufmo, and although we've never met him, he plays a profound role in the show. If you just let me finish my fucking thought. Kaufmo abstracted. Abstraction is when you lose your mind and you also lose all hope. You turn into this glitchy monster. Kaufmo acts as both a warning, but his abstraction also gives us a great sense of community that we see in the second episode, but I'm getting ahead of myself. Kaufmo fully lost it when he saw that same exit Pomni keeps seeing. Why is it only visible to these two? I have no idea. But constantly seeing the illusion of escaping is what made him fully lose it. And who knows how long Kaufmo was there for? When Pomni first meets the group, Jax says they've been there for years. Do we even know how time works in this digital world? Regardless, Pomni's only been there for a day, and seeing that exit almost caused her to break, as seen by that creepy-ass smile at the end. I hate it. Let's rewind. Jax ran away from Kaufmo, only thinking of himself, to participate in the stupid Kane-made adventure. Zubul was taken by these stupid sticky shapes called gloinks. These gloinks are part of the adventure. They are no real threat. In this first episode, Kinger the chess piece and Gangle the abused comedy masks aren't doing much besides being comedic relief. Meanwhile, the real conflict that's playing out is Ragatha begging Pomni to find Kane, because he'll be able to fix this mess. Ragatha appears to be on the verge of death after abstracted Kaufmo threw her around like a rag doll, I guess. To Pomni's credit, she does listen to Ragatha at first, until she decides to go through the exit door, leading to endless office spaces, and more exit doors, and more exit doors, and more exit doors, and more, until she finally floats in the void. The 4 biggest fuck yous to these powerless human prisoners in this pilot go as follows. 1. Pomni never got to see her new face until she was running away from the abstracted threat. Her look is one of both realization and derealization somehow. She's like, oh, this is me, I guess. It's not, but it is. I'm scared. Don't hug me. The look of horror as she's taking the time to process what cannot be fully processed, even if you have all the time in the world, when she doesn't even have a second. I don't know how else to explain it. It's in such a moment of her trying to save herself while also having to process that herself is a totally new person. The first time I saw this, I was immediately stressed. I was on the edge of my seat this whole pilot. Number 2, fuck you, is Kane easily being able to fix Ragatha with just a snap. She is crawling on the floor screaming in agony, and he just has all the control in the world to fix her. He is this world's god, and considering he has 0 empathy no matter how hard he tries, scary, not good, Kane says the one thing he doesn't have control over is their minds. So how does he allegedly not know what's out there in the void? Well, fuck you, number 3. Remember how we left Pomni floating in the void forever? Well, Claim exclaimed that Pomni was going to be spoiled, easily teleporting her back to the circus and admitting that he lied. He claimed those exits were his unfinished work, but the way he glances around makes it seem like he's still lying. An all-powerful godlike being who lies, keep that in mind. Number 4. Right before Pomni was floating in the void, we see this rusty, musty computer with the headset next to it, which she stares at, before maniacally laughing with pointy teeth.
Jesus Christ!
She's fucking losing it. At the very end, we have the shot that keeps zooming out. We zoom out of the circus. We zoom out of the void. And the last time we zoom out, we see that the void exists in that same computer. It looks a bit cleaner to me, but that could just be the lighting. Remember how seemingly close she got. The first episode leaves me with so many questions. Who is the theme song for? I know it's for us, but in the universe, is it also for us? Kane talks about the hundreds of all-seeing eyes, and we see them throughout the episode. Does that also represent us? Remember the eyes in Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared? Are the characters in both shows aware of the fact that they're being watched? At this point, there are 4 episodes in the Amazing Digital Circus as of me posting this. And we've never seen the theme song again. And I think that's a shame because I want to see the back end of it. Ragatha helping Pomni get to her mark, picking out a pose and staring off into space as this song plays from God knows where, Kane knows where. I want to know what this sequence is like for the characters. Jax talked about this theme song like they did it every single day. But like I keep saying, we haven't seen it since. We also see outside the circus, which includes the digital lake and rides at the carnival. Will we ever see this again? To be determined.
There's 3 of us. There's 3 of us.
The television show opens up with the theme song, There's 3 of Us, which plays every episode, unlike the Amazing Digital Circus's theme song, which I went on a whole tirade about. We also see that Yellow Guy got a facelift. This character design change happened pretty early on in the web series as well, and given what we know about this child star, this change can also easily have an in-universe explanation. This time, they do not sit in silence before the teacher appears. Yellow Guy says, "Oh look, it's morning." And Red Guy says, "Guess we stayed up all night talking again." And even though he's deadpan, and it sounds sarcastic, I'm inclined to believe him. They came across as even closer in the series, even when they were being assholes to each other. The extended runtime really gave us a better look at this dynamic. Duck even has an aversion to the mundane. When Red Guy repeatedly tells Duck there's nothing to do on the schedule today, Duck is disgusted, saying we have to do something. This teacher that looks like a briefcase appears at the table with them, and this time they are learning about jobs. This briefcase dude is singing about how he loves his job.
You have a job?
Of course, Duck, who looks at stocks, is the most excited to participate in capitalism. He sings that digital currency is based around respect. Duck would have one of those ugly-ass ape NFTs for sure. Duck also praises the military constantly.
He told me about the military.
Duck is, to put it simply, a sheep. It makes sense that 99% of the time he doesn't question his circumstances. In this series, the gore happens way more passively. Yellow Guy has a welt on his shoulder that's so slimy and fleshy, and it even talks to him. It has absolutely nothing to do with this episode's theme of jobs, but the dismissal of it is definitely more concerning. If only he had this video's sponsor, Second Guess Yourself. I heard really good things about this product. I looked through the reviews, and actually most of them were from the company, which is great because they know the most about their product, right? All right, let's put it on my skin, huh? Okay, let's put it on my skin. That's really cold. But it feels great once you get used to that. Thank you so much to the sponsor, Second Guess Yourself. That was... So the briefcase sings a song about choosing the right job for you. He makes it sound like there's all these options before plopping the 3 into a factory setting with no input from the group about how they feel about it. Once again, the illusion of choice. This was foreshadowed even earlier in the song because even though he talks about how empowering he is through his job,
it won't even feel like work. In fact, you'll feel like an angel.
He still has time to belittle and bully his brother. It isn't about pride in your job, it's about fear of shame, and it's about having more power and purpose than others. But this episode also captures the stupid amount of luck it takes to rise to the top as well. Red Guy didn't even want to have a job, but because he answered this phone, he is now the boss of Peterson's Sons and Friends, Bits and Parts Limited. Yellow Guy works at the conveyor belt. He receives positive affirmation with a repetitive task he's good at. Yellow Guy also forms a very surface level level bond with his coworkers, repeating the same awkward banter over and over, but he truly feels like he belongs, to the point where he spends his life there. His work is his life. 40 years at this job. And how does it repay him? Yellow Guy is part of the workplace accident that's promised to happen at least once in the training video. When Red Guy fired Duck, Duck had to deal with AI human resources. An oxymoron for sure. We have emotions that don't exist, a distorted song about how to manage stress through a guided meditation that's confusing and doesn't make sense. I think we're supposed to feel the stress that Duck feels in this moment, but I feel quite the opposite. I fuck with that song. The dissonance of those electric harmonies give me more. It's so funky. This intervention, led by the Carehound, includes this terrified shot of Duck. Duck in the next scene cooperates and no longer fights this job. Not fully brainwashed, but blinded by money. Quite literally. Hey, you know what this episode reminds me of?
Say, where can I get one of these jobs?
Here's where the video gets a little non-linear, because we are jumping to the latest episode of the Amazing Digital Circus. The 4th episode, the fast food joint episode, the job episode. Holy shit, what the fuck is that? This episode starts with Gangle getting a new mask. She has a comedy and tragedy mask, but at the start of every episode, the comedy one is broken, most of the time by Jax. Zubul offers Gangle a plastic one, which, just based off the look, is not only a new emotion, but there's also a lot more to it. Kind of like those fake emotions Duck looked at. The Overlord AI, this big toothy guy, Kane, took Gangle's suggestion to make the adventure of the day working at a fast food chain. And Kane made Gangle the shift manager. Just like with the plastic mask, Gangle said this job at Spudsy's feels normal. She apparently worked as a shift manager before she was stuck at the circus. Just like Red Guy being put in a leadership position, this leads to their friends finding them annoying. Not to mention, Red Guy also had this career in another life. In the web series finale, spoiler alert. After they had their own little workplace accident, although I wouldn't call this an accident at all, Jax has a moment of being threatened by a training video just like how Duck was. The motivation to work in both job episodes is through the fear of being punished, while also offering no protection to those who get hurt at the job. After Yellow Guy's hand gets crushed, Red Guy fires him. When Ragatha is thrown into this fryer, yeah, Jax gets punished, but no one helps Ragatha out of the fryer. Now I'm gonna get on my high horse, because after this episode, everyone was calling Ragatha mean. Oh, she was so mean to Gangle. Keep in mind, she was accidentally drugged.
Oh, would you like some of this on your that?
And Gangle, who was the boss, didn't help Ragatha out of a fucking fryer. I'm actually super sick of all the Ragatha hate, because she's really relatable to me. She always tries so hard to be kind, but sometimes it's fucking hard. Anyway, throughout the episode, we hear Gangle cracking beneath the plastic mask. The plastic mask is a facade. We hear her lament in the training video that she wanted to be an artist and make her own webcomic, but she was told that dream is unrealistic and to suck it up at this one. The theme of forced positivity is present in both job episodes. Before we move on to other episodes and themes, let's talk about the Spudsy's website. I followed the link showed in the pilot, thewackywatch.com, and it led me here. Let's take a look. We have here, welcome to Spudsy's Try the Sauce, and as we know, the sauce is stupid sauce that makes you stupid in the episode about forced positivity and being forced into a job you hate, because the system thinks we're stupid. Free bucket of soup with every purchase though, damn, that's good enough to fucking distract me from the world's horrors. A bucket? That's exciting. That's America coded. Just pickles, $70. The slab, 31 cents. Mega stack, 2 times mega, $1. A fucking steal if I ever did see one. And that one comes with ice cream and fries I see in the back. Yeah, unfortunately, I am the main demographic for this. I went to Cheeseburger, and I would love those eating challenges where you can get your name and photo on the wall. Special of the week, sour cream in a cone. You had me and you lost me. Oh my god, I'm so uncomfortable. And then we have this song, which I really need to show you. I don't think it's copyrighted, but it fucking should be because it's a bop.
Life's a nightmare. Don't you want to go where you're insistent agonies replacing sesame seeds?
Where you're in set. Wait a second. Holy shit. Ah! I love that. Where your incessant agonies are, what did it say? Are something sesame seeds, or are drowned by sesame seeds, or replaced with sesame seeds. Shakespeare could fucking never. Look at Tommy Pickles in the word pickles. The job application is open for fry cook, but we see all these different positions such as trash can, burger, and CEO. We get to ignore health and safety standards. Who needs regulations when you have flavor? It very much reminds me of the Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared trading video, where they say all the times where they have a workplace accident is to make them feel better about all the other times where they don't have a workplace accident. And we even get down to requirements. Ability to ignore others effectively. No previous experience required. Honestly, the less you know, the better. Like, holy shit. That could really easily be in Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared too. I now have a major need for these characters to meet, and I know that crossover episode will never happen, and it pains me. But look what happens when you fill out this job application. Let's say I apply to be the trash can. I am, of course, ass. Why should we hire you? I like eat. I ate. Devoured. I like eat. I ate. Devoured. Submit. Congratulations, your application has been rejected. Second teacher of the Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared web series, Tony the Clock. Tony is opposite of the notepad in every way. He doesn't try to hide behind a kind, sing-songy voice. He straight up yells every time he's challenged. When Duck says time is a construct, Tony the Clock makes an alarm sound so loud that Yellow Guy's ears bleed. This is also very appropriately the episode where we first meet Roy, Yellow Guy's dad. He stares at us menacingly. He watches porn in front of us. He is a recurring villain. He, much like the clock, does not try to hide the fact that he's a bad guy. But back to the clock.
Look at the time!
In the beginning of the song, he says the future doesn't exist, but then he praises the future for its many distractions. The message of the future also being amazing distorts as our main characters rot and wither away. Tony says eventually everyone runs out of time, but we zoom out and see that horrific scene playing on their TV as they sit around back to normal. So actually, the beginning was correct. The future does not exist for these three. We see this proven time and time again. These characters have died so many times, but they are immediately reborn.
As far back as I can remember, I always knew I deserved to be dead.
In the second episode of the TV series, Duck is dead. He reads about his death in the newspaper, and he is absolutely ecstatic about it. Red Guy is jealous. Duck's casket is made by his blood seeping into the floorboards, and then the floorboards transform into the teacher of the episode, who pretends to care about Duck's well-being. But we quickly see urgency from him as he talks about how much there is to do to prepare for a funeral. They didn't even get a tombstone that said Duck's name. It says David. The casket says it's too late to change it and reprimands Duck for talking because he's supposed to be dead. Yellow Guy's creativity being shut down never stops. He plays the trumpet beautifully, and the casket shuts it down, saying, "Oh wow, I didn't like that." A bunch of people who never knew Duck show up to weep in his friends' faces. A really great visualization of how performative even death can be. At first, Yellow Guy is the only one truly devastated. Just like in the Jobs episode, he looks into the camera and talks directly to us, the viewer.
What do you think it means to have a job?
This time, he asks us what happens after we die. I don't know, Yellow Guy, you're stressing me out. Red Guy jumps to replace Duck. He dodges any difficult feelings, as he should, because Duck isn't dead. Or is he? The replacement Red Guy sculpted ends up looking and acting exactly like Duck. And in the end, one of the ducks kills the other. Was that the original Duck or the new Duck? And does that make a difference?
Help me what I am.
Episode 2 of The Amazing Digital Circus takes place in the Candy Kingdom. Pomni bonds with the NPC Gummy Goo after they both glitch underneath the map of the game. NPCs, if you don't know, are non-playable characters. In the context of this world, all you need to know is that Gummy Goo is not a human. But when he sees he and his friends frozen as character options, his reality crumbles. That's a mindfuck in and of itself. But then he also starts to realize that Pomni and her friends are real. And he and his friends were just made for them. And if that isn't enough, Gummy Goo laments that he remembers having a mother, but she doesn't have a model, meaning all those memories were fake. They exist only in his mind. They programmed this guy to have a backstory. It's very Black Mirror-y. He very clearly has feelings. In that regard, he's just as human as Pomni. We see him hyperventilate. We see him spiral just as Pomni did in the first episode. After Pomni encourages Gummy Goo, validating his feelings, Gummy Goo feels a bit better, but still decides not to share what he's learned with his friends. His perception of reality is shattered, but he doesn't want to drag the others down with him. Gummy Goo is a real stand-up guy, loyal as fuck. Gummy Goo decides to go back to the circus with Pomni, but the moment Kane sees him, he makes Gummy Goo explode into confetti.
Wait, what?
In the 4th episode of the Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared web series, we meet the computer teacher. I think the fandom has dubbed him Colin. He doesn't answer any of their questions, instead saying there are 3 things to do online: look at charts, dress up in digital clothes, and dance. Dude has moves, actually. We see how isolating this is when we cut to Red Guy alone at the computer, with warped versions of his friends glitching in and out. They're there, but not really. This episode ends with Red Guy following a wire into another room where their life is being acted out by a live-action duck, a red mop, a yellow balloon, and a shit ton of rotoscope. Would I watch a full episode in this style? Absolutely. But Red Guy's mind is blown, quite literally, when he realizes they've been replaced. On top of that, it's debated if he even knew they were in a TV show in the first place. But that explosion, that's exactly what happened to Gummy Goo. Only 11 years before Gummy Goo. BGG. Even their final words are the same.
Wait, what?
We see Gummy Goo again in the last episode, the fast food episode, but it seems like he doesn't remember Pomni, so was he reset? That's up to interpretation, because a lot of fans think that this look he gave her implies that he does remember, but is keeping it a secret out of fear. I don't know what I believe, and quite frankly, I don't think it matters. Either way, it's sad. Dude is living a lie whether he realizes it or not. We also see Red Guy again, the episode after he exploded, at the end of the web series episode 5. In this episode, Duck and Yellow Guy are sitting at the table, and Red Guy is nowhere to be seen. Even in the pictures on the wall, Red Guy is leaving. A bunch of food and the fridge sing a very contradicting song about eating healthy. The teachers have always been unreliable, but they're not even trying anymore. The eating healthy song keeps getting interrupted by the phone ringing. Duck starts to question the teachers prevent him from answering the phone, and in the end, they punish Duck for being fed up by feeding him to Yellow Guy. This was the most disturbing scene in either show. I don't care. This fucked me up. Even though Yellow Guy is the youngest and most agreeable, I don't know if they explicitly told him he ate his friend, but they weren't trying to hide it either. I mean, Duck's face is on all the cans. We see Red Guy in the end credits walking away from the phone booth, confirming he was the one trying to call and warn them. This might be my favorite episode of the web series. The only thing that confuses me was that giant can that looked like it had Yellow Guy's face on it, eating the organs right out of Duck's body, while Duck looked on in horror. Until I saw this moment in the end credits that thanks Roy, Yellow Guy's dad. He was probably the one behind the cans, basically saying, I will continue to sell you and my son as long as it's profitable. You both will continue to feed me. Ew. In episode 4 of the TV series, Duck questions his identity just because the computer is asking security questions.
I'm just going to have to ask you a few questions to make sure that you're really you.
Of course we're us, aren't we?
Also, as you can see, they brought back the computer, but his characterization is completely different. He is a lot chiller.
I love you. Goodbye.
Don't touch me.
He's most likely a different computer altogether because he grew out of this plant. Also, whoever is in control of this world limits their computer access to only 1 day out of the year. Something I think the amazing digital circus characters would have appreciated.
We love you.
At the end of the Amazing Digital Circus episode 2, we see Kaufmo's funeral, and as Pomni looks around at the others, she realizes she can trust them. We even see this visual of all their arms catching her, except for Jax. Fuck that guy. And whether or not the Don't Hug Me I'm Scared group wants to admit it, they're also family. In the 3rd episode of the TV show, these creepy blonde twins come up to them. Their names are Lily and Tomni. That sounds a lot like Pomni. Anyway, the wiki says Todney, but she's fully saying Tomni.
Todney?
These two try to convince Yellow Guy, Red Guy, and Duck that they're not a family. Yellow Guy says he has a father, but the twins say that doesn't count either. You need uncles and cousins and siblings as well to have a true family. The only one who insists they're a family is Duck, which is really sweet. They then meet the twins' family. We see this grandpa guy who is very irritable, constantly shushing them, and everyone listens to him. There's this very tense silence because we have to respect elders. Red Guy meets his stringy red family, and they immediately shut him down too. Yellow Guy is indoctrinated by the blonde twins to be their mom, and they force Yellow Guy to order them a family chicken meal. Yellow Guy's father shows up and eats the entire family as Yellow Guy escapes. This is further confirmation of what happened at the end of the 5th short form episode. Remember how I said I think that Roy was responsible for eating Duck with those fugly cans? This scene solidifies it. Dude just goes apeshit when he sees dead bird snacks. I feel queasy. At the end of this episode, the three reflect and realize they are family before fighting like one.
I guess we could share.
Speaking of fighting, nothing brings a family together like a common enemy. And Warren the Worm is one of the most disgusting creatures I've ever laid my eyes upon.
Flashback.
Warren is the worst, and I know he's supposed to be the worst, but holy shit. What a clingy, obnoxious. He made Yellow Guy's brain friends leave him. That scene was actually the saddest to me. It was when you see Yellow Guy's only escape in his mind also be taken from him. Even though Red Guy and Duck left out Yellow Guy in the beginning of this episode.
You're just a
Yeah, you can't help it. You're just a
When they noticed he wasn't acting like himself, they did everything they could to save him. Duck killed Warren the Worm and hit him with a classic Another amazing episode of Found Family is in episode 3 of the Amazing Digital Circus, which takes place in Milton Hall Manor, which is a haunted house where Kinger and Pomni get separated from the group, and after Pomni goes through hell, quite literally, she wants to give up. She feels like this place is only here to torture her, but Kinger offers a different perspective. All we have is each other. Let's work together to survive. Usually Kinger is a bit nutty and not at all grounded, but in the dark he is able to see more clearly. We hear his backstory, how he lost his wife in the circus, how she abstracted, and we even see his last moments with her in a flashback. This proves a level of strength and hope exists in the circus through community alone. Everybody say on. Now tell me, who do you think in the main cast is going to abstract first? My money's on Ragatha. You know why?
She's flirting with the gummy guy, because she'd rather be with an NPC than with us or something.
She is lonely. She also tries way harder than the rest, and she is very clearly tired. She's going to see the others form a more genuine connection to Pomni and Zubul, and she's gonna snap.
In this world, the worst thing you can do is make someone think they're not wanted or loved.
I wish someone would flirt with me.
I'm telling you, dude, this shit's huge. Oh, has it ever grown out of my skin before? Oh, let me think about that. No, it grew right out of where I put the lotion on. What the fuck is this shit? I can't promote this. Oh, there's a disclaimer on it. That makes everything better. Yeah, that'll hold up in court. What does it say? Grow out of you. If you're a little bitch, talk to your doctor and say, what is that supposed to mean? Dude, fuck off. What the hell? You know what amazes me about both shows? The tone isn't excessively gloomy or dark. I know I just talked about a young boy eating his best friend, but hear me out. They sprinkle in enough humor to where I'm tickled while also feeling a bit freaked. And I just love that combination. It's also funny when even the jokes are a bit similar.
I forgot to drink water.
Well, I'm gonna go drink water. It's been a while since I've done that.
While Kane from the Amazing Digital Circus tries to distract his group with fun adventures, the teachers in Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared present a bunch of problems to keep the group busy enough that they don't even realize they're trapped. Like, for example, with a cult. Yeah, in episode 3 of the web series, this butterfly corners Yellow Guy and preaches about love and how he'll help Yellow Guy feel less lonely. Their solution to Yellow Guy feeling a bit sad is to push straight marriage down his throat. That is a child. This episode ends with Yellow Guy waking up though, so I don't know how much of that was real. Back to the Amazing Digital Circus. While Kane has the best of intentions, it is best not to upset him. Because as seen in episode 3, when Zubul critiques him, Kane begins to spiral about not being good at the one thing he was programmed to do, causing the entire world around him to glitch. This show is on the perfect channel. Anyway, intentionally or not, Kane can easily kill all of them. The teachers in Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared have killed all of them at one point, completely on purpose. Which world would you rather be in? I'll give you my answer at the end of this video. One of the biggest escape plans ever seen in Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared is in the penultimate episode of the TV series. Red Guy's patience is gone. He is going stir crazy.
Well, I say put the clipboard in the bin, because I hate the clipboard.
What did you say?
I said, I hate the clipboard, and I hate this place.
Please don't have said that.
Their house reacts to this, shaking. Probably not a good sign that your way out of this fucked up house is coming from the fucked up house. But this old man train, Thomas the Tank if he stank, emerges from the fireplace and I am obsessed with him. I love when he's larger that the train tracks are on his feet. He's not only serving, but he's also a versatile queen that can transform into different types of transportation and goes out in the silliest, most ironic way by dying right there in their living room. Icon. Yellow Guy and Duck are content that the adventure is over, but Red Guy does not give up, pressing every button until this dead car drives. Duck and Yellow Guy complain that it's difficult to look at things out of the window. Everything's moving too fast. They feel safe in their same old routine. I mean, they don't really have a choice, but it's almost like they like it that way. It's like the steps of grief. They've reached acceptance, while Red Guy is full-blown denial. A talking GPS tries to get him to go home. Red Guy fights this, and the first location Red Guy put into the GPS was Clay Hill, and the GPS responded,
I'm sorry, that place doesn't exist anymore.
What? What happened to it?
Just shriveled up, I reckon.
Very funny, because this was the name of the unaired Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared pilot for a completely different TV show that would have taken place in the Clay Hill town. This may be an unpopular opinion, but I'm really glad we didn't get that so we could get this series. Some would argue that the Clay Hill setting would be a great opportunity to see how they interact with society, but I'd argue that we already get that from the teachers teleporting them to these different settings, like the factory and the job episode. And we get the added rush of being confused when they return home, left to wonder how much of that was really real, just like in the original web series. Red Guy throws the GPS out of the window. During the song We're Going Forward, Yellow Guy brings a man into the car who looks exactly like Roy, and Red Guy throws, I'm pretty sure that's Roy, out of the window as well. Any compliance Red Guy had is gone, and I love to see it. After Yellow Guy looks at a pamphlet all about community, he imagines what that would be like. I adore this mixed media world, and how a lot of the styles can lull you into a false sense of security. Like this very cozy Trumptonshire-looking place that Yellow Guy is thinking about in his head. It's narrated by a very sweet voice, until Yellow Guy opens up this gift and it's a bird. We hear the narrator's disdain for this bird.
Oh, it's a rat, or some kind of worthless animal.
It's almost like she knows what'll happen next. Yellow Guy runs after the bird, into the street where he gets hit by a car as the narrator screams. Even talking about it, I just gotta chill. Yellow Guy is snapped back into reality where a real bird has died, slamming into the car window. Red Guy echoes the same uncaring sentiment towards the bird when Yellow Guy pointed it out to him. All Red Guy does is tell Yellow Guy not to touch it. Red Guy also shows a lot of self-awareness when he mentions that the show they always watch always restarts at the beginning of every episode. The car comes back to life just to scold them about how he can't be this far away, and then he dies again. Queen. As Red Guy screams about how he can't go back to that house, the world around them glitches, and the cartoony trees and hills we've seen rolling by this entire time turns into a live-action junkyard. Yellow Guy hears a woman's voice saying, "Journeys made and lessons learned, you may feel like you're alone, but no matter how much the wheels turn, the journey always ends back at home." I have my hair is standing up and I have chills. Eyes brimming with tears. I'm filming this at 3 a.m. I'm creeping myself out. At the always ends back home part, we see a giant live action arm bringing the car back to the house. The car looks empty, so we don't know if this godlike being brought back those versions of the characters. It's very up in the air, but I don't know what Yellow Guy would have been reacting to at this moment. Look at this clip. So I feel like she might have brought them back home, but I don't know.
Eventually everyone runs out of time.
The web series finale starts with Yellow Guy mourning his friends. He is also desperately trying to get the magical teachers to go away. He doesn't want to learn about dreams, he just wants to sleep. We see Red Guy at this corporate job, surrounded by people who look and sound exactly like him. But our Red Guy sticks out like a sore thumb, because A, he's a nudist, and B, he wants to sing the creative song. Can't blame him, it's a bop. What's your favorite idea? Mine is being creative. He's thinking about all the teacher's songs. He misses it. Some people say this is a flashback and that he had a direct hand in making the TV show, but the only thing that's confusing to me is that he has puppets that look exactly like both of his friends, and his friends can't be created by Red Guy because Roy is real. He watches Red Guy from a distance. Red Guy discovers the control panel of the kids' TV show, making more teachers pop up in front of Yellow Guy. Red Guy quickly becomes drunk with power, torturing his friend. At first I thought he was trying to turn off the machine, but he seems glued to the screen. He's probably thinking, "Oh, I am so creative." Meanwhile, Yellow Guy wants to die. Red Guy is only interrupted by Roy reaching out to him in the creepiest way possible. Dude can't even pretend to be a safe, likable person. Or this was a dream sequence thing where stretchy arm Roy isn't real. Red Guy just sees him because Red Guy is turning just as bad as Roy. Whatever, shut up. Red Guy unplugs the control panel and the show restarts. I remember when I first watched this, interpreting it as a good ending. Not a good ending in quality, but like the good ending, like the characters escaped. Because look, the calendar flips to the next day. Each of them changed to their favorite color. It's just another distraction. The notebook flips open singing the creative song again. They're still stuck. And if this is the good ending, why is Roy creeping in those credits? Look, there he is! Shout out to the wiki for pointing this out. I never noticed that. The new day also doesn't mean change. It is quite literally same shit, different day. But instead, same shit, same day, because the television show is also stuck on June 20th. The web series was June 19th. This one's June 20th. The last episode of the television series has the reveal that Yellow Guy is powered by batteries. What? And he desperately needs to replace them. Once he does get new batteries, he is a new person. He gains green irises. His hair is slicked and now he's incredibly intelligent. He goes up 3 flights of stairs they've never explored. 2 out of 3 of those are just dedicated to smart and smarter versions of Red Guy and Duck, who are just as distracted as the dumbasses on the bottom level. Only Yellow Guy makes it to the top floor, where he meets Leslie. Leslie is the one that moved the car back home. She is like Kane in the Amazing Digital Circus, only reversed. Leslie is the only real person, with a little dollhouse that controls this big house. She has many backups for each character, just like Kane does with the NPCs. It turns out our main characters from Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared are actually way more similar to the NPC characters in the Amazing Digital Circus than they are to the humans. Because at least the Amazing Digital Circus human characters know where they came from, even if they don't remember their name. The Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared characters are so trapped they don't even know they can go upstairs. They don't even know where they came from. Leslie shouts at Yellow Guy, "You're not my real son." That plus the scene of Yellow Guy getting run over by a car.
Ryan, look out!
The casket assuming he was the dead one first, and the D on his overalls for David all point to the interpretation that yes, Leslie is trying to cope with the loss of her child by replaying the same day over and over.
The future doesn't exist.
That line now takes on a new meaning with someone who isn't able to have a future. Oh, and one other thing. Yellow Guy digging up Duck in the death episode to bring him back is quite literally how he, Yellow Guy, was made. David's mother dug him up the exact same way. Leslie sends Yellow Guy downstairs with a very important book that will answer all of his questions. But Duck needs batteries, so he takes the ones right from Yellow Guy. This leads to Yellow Guy losing the memories of being upstairs and shredding the book. And this exact series of events has probably played out many times because of hints that Yellow Guy has dropped.
I'm the one who had a dream where there was stuff like there was another me. And there were things that they heard around that I knew what they were, but I don't know now. And then it went away.
How many times has he been upstairs? How many times has his memory been wiped? It's like how close Pomni got to the computer, but if that happened 1,000 times and then she didn't even know that she was trapped in the first place. So yeah, I'd actually much rather be a human in the world of the Amazing Digital Circus. At least then I could make memories without the threat of completely restarting. Also, the Amazing Digital Circus characters, for the most part, can't feel any physical pain, just emotional pain. Whereas in Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared, I can be decapitated just from somebody holding my doll wrong. Some might say ignorance is bliss, but we've seen that isn't the case in Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared because they get stir crazy. They don't know what's wrong, but they still feel off. Also, I swear I only caught this on my 5th viewing. Maybe if I wasn't such an iPad baby with multiple devices, I would have caught this sooner. But it pans from Leslie's dollhouse to stairs going up. So we haven't even reached the top level of the house. What could possibly be there? At first I was thinking Roy, but he's still a puppet. Leslie probably made this version of Roy to cope with the fact that her husband was a piece of shit. A monster, really. Maybe on the top level would be the human Roy, the real Roy, still profiting off of his family's trauma. I don't know. Which world would you rather be in? If you disagree with me, then why? And don't say, oh, because I have the knowledge of going upstairs and I would do it differently. Let's pretend you didn't. Let's pretend you are one of the characters. Suspend your disbelief.
I'm begging for help. I'm screaming for help. Please come let me out.
The Amazing Digital Circus takes place in a video game world, while the Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared web series critiques the distorted messaging in kids' media, specifically hive mind thinking. And both of these shows exist on the internet, which is the perfect place for them, because there's definitely more freedom to explore and get funky on YouTube than, let's say, traditional media, but you also have to face different challenges and play the game in different ways. The Help series in Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared is how the web series was initially funded. It showed the characters kidnapped and held ransom. People paid on Kickstarter to free the characters and continue the series. This is the main reason I did all those faked sponsor sections in this video. And I had this idea before any of the drama. Being a YouTuber is incredible. I don't want you to misinterpret this. It has been my dream since middle school, but it is not a completely flaw-free way to entertain or make art. Sponsorships are quite literally the thorn in my side. Ooh, okay, Spirit Gum. Oh, if you want to support me, I do have some really fun merch. I'm sending video thank yous to the first, I was gonna say 100 orders, but fuck it, let's say 150 orders. Dude, no way, no way, no way. Oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. Athena P. That's me. I placed this order. Damn right. It says, hi me, good job. And unironically past me. It's future me now. That's so cool that you did that. Thank you. I love you, Athena. Thank you. See you later, Athena, in the mirror every day. Back at you. I really appreciate you guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Have you watched The Amazing Digital Circus? Have you watched Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared? Did you disagree with me on any takes? Please leave it in a comment below. If you enjoyed, be sure to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one, butt lovers. Bye!